what happened happened. The Raiders sit at 1-1, and now all eyes turn to Week 3 against the Commanders, a matchup that already feels like a turning point in the season. Monday night's loss to the Chargers was ugly, there's no denying it. The defense fought hard, limiting Los Angeles to just 20 points despite being put in bad situations again and again. But the offense, the unit that was supposed to carry this team forward, sputtered and collapsed. And while the headlines this week have been dominated by the sight of Tom Brady wearing a headset in the booth, the truth is that drama is just noise compared to the real issue staring this team in the face. Brady sitting in the booth sparked a frenzy of speculation. Cameras caught him with a headset on, leaning in as if he were part of the coaching staff, and immediately people started asking questions. Was he secretly feeding information to Chip Kelly? Was he directly involved in game planning? Reports even surfaced suggesting Brady has been meeting with Kelly multiple times a week to discuss film and strategy. And that's where things got complicated. Brady is not just a legendary quarterback turned broadcaster. He's also a minority owner of the Raiders, while simultaneously holding a 10-year, $375 million contract with Fox Sports as an analyst. That dual role means he has unique access. As an analyst, he can talk to coaches around the league, gaining insight into strategies and personnel. As an owner, he can sit in the booth with his own staff on game day. It's an overlap that has people questioning whether the Raiders are quietly benefiting from an edge no one else has. Pete Carroll wasted no time shooting down the allegations. He insisted Brady has followed every NFL rule governing his dual roles, and the league itself backed him up, clarifying that Brady hasn't broken any rules by being in the booth or wearing league-issued equipment. According to the NFL, he can't attend practice or participate in production meetings at the facility, but he is permitted to sit in the booth as a limited partner. Adam Schefter publicly downplayed the controversy, saying Brady knows what's professional and what isn't, while others like Chris Canty argued that even if it's technically legal, Brady's mind and influence are an advantage the Raiders shouldn't have. And while that's all fascinating to debate, it isn't the real problem right now, because the Raiders didn't lose on Monday night because Tom Brady was wearing a headset. They lost because their offense was completely broken. The Chargers game ended 20-9, and the tone was set on the very first snap. Geno Smith faked a handoff and fired toward Trey Tucker on a slant, but the Chargers safety read it instantly, tipping the ball into the hands of a linebacker. Just like that, a turnover to start the night. From there, the offense never found rhythm. Smith threw 3 interceptions, pressing, forcing throws into traffic, trying to create plays that weren't there. Those picks will define his stat line, but they were symptoms, not the disease. The real problem was that the Raiders never committed to the run game, and the offensive line completely collapsed. Ashton Gentry, the rookie back drafted to be a workhorse, carried the ball just 11 times. 11. And yet, in those limited opportunities, he ripped off gains of 6, 9, even 13 yards, showing flashes of explosiveness. He's the kind of back who gets better with volume, who wears defenses down as the game goes on, and the Raiders pulled him off the field before he ever had the chance to do that. Chip Kelly abandoned the run far too early, asking Geno to win the game through the air against a defense that was begging him to be patient. The Chargers sat back, kept everything in front, and waited for Geno to make a mistake. And mistakes came just as they were designed to. Part of the hesitancy to run was the offensive line's struggles, but even that explanation falls flat when you watch the tape. The protection issues weren't just about being physically overmatched. They were about communication and cohesion, or rather, the lack of it. Even in max protection looks with 8 blockers, free rushers were finding their way into the pocket. On one critical third down, the Raiders looked ready for an edge blitz, but the Chargers disguised it. Derwin James came late, Khalil Mack looped on a stunt, and suddenly a running back was left trying to stop Mack in space. It was a mismatch, and Geno had no chance. Jordan Meredith had one of the roughest games of his career, snapping the ball high, snapping it low, throwing off the rhythm of plays before they could even begin. Dylan Parham was shoved backward into Geno's lap more than once. 2 linemen doubled the wrong defender while another rusher came through untouched. These weren't one-off errors. They were recurring failures that made it impossible for the quarterback to trust his protection. And when a quarterback can't trust his line, desperation follows. That's how interceptions happen. That's how drives die. Even when they tried to lean on Gentry, breakdowns undermined him. There was a play designed to stretch outside with Michael Mayer leading as a blocker, but instead of clearing the lane, Mayer got tied up, collided with Gentry, and the play imploded before it started. Over and over, these small but costly mistakes piled up. Gentry himself has adjustments to make, particularly in pass